Yes, welcome to Open Goal Team of the Season. Just a quick feature we're going to do.
Oh.
To end it on a high, who wants to go first with their Team of the Year? Have we done any rules or is it just...
Shall we just start, we'll start with a goalie each and then we'll...
Good shout, Andrew. Who's your goalie?
Alan McGregor.
Alan McGregor.
Alan McGregor, no debate.
Gordon Marshall.
Well, Seagrass for Dun United made the most saves in the league.
Right.
But you have to go Alan McGregor.
Right, well, we'll get honourable mentions, so Seagrass was...
100%.
Jack Alnwick for me as well. Deserves that honourable mention. I think he's done really well.
And but McGregor, I think he's made 3 world-class saves, and I mean world-class, so he's in.
Farkas.
He was close, wasn't he?
What about Tommy?
Tommy Sheridan nearly got there.
Oh, Tommy will be devastated he's missed
I
it.
think maybe next season.
What was it he was lacking, Tommy Sheridan? Very vocal, but
Very vocal in it.
he's kicking, wasn't it? He kept trying to kick it with his Timberlands on.
Timberlands on. I didn't stare on it.
So get yourself a pair of boots for next year.
Aye.
Right, Kev, well, this is going to be tough because I'm going for a 3-5-2.
So you're saying you're right wing back?
Right, so if you're going right back, I'll go right wing back.
I'm a 4-3-3.
What are you, Kevin?
I'm a 4-4-2.
Of course, you're old school.
I'm old school.
Right,
my
right back,
my right back would be obviously James Tavernier. Tavernier, which is, how do you say it, Andy?
Tavernier.
Tavernier. Aye.
And you want to give us your reason why?
I gave him a reason why is to the fact that the amount of goals he scored. I think he was like the 4th or 5th top scorer in the league.
Something like that.
Something like that. And then the
19
assists
goals all
and the fact he's the captain of Rangers and led them to 55. I think that speaks volumes. I think he's been consistent. It's a shame that he got injured when he did, because I think his numbers might have been higher. But no.
And for a different reason, I think you've always had the assists to goals. I think this year he's got better defensively in terms of defending 1v1 and also his positional sense. Also on the ball and he's on half of the pitch, I think he's got a lot better in terms of his distribution, so that's why he goes in for me, and plus the numbers, Kev, yeah.
All of the above, 19 goals, all competitions, I think it's 12 assists. Part of a Rangers team that have hardly conceded any goals all season. As a captain, he's led by example, so easy for me.
He's not right, is he?
Sean Rooney, 2 cups he won. He scored 2 goals. Nicky Devlin won all the awards at Living Exceptional. But as Andy said, all the above, James Tavernier.
But mate, they would be the 2 though for honourable mentions, wouldn't they, Rooney and Devlin?
100%, mate. As I said, to score 2 goals in the cup final, that boy, and he didn't start at the start of the season, which is credit to him. He's been unbelievable. But as you said, Tavernier's been my player of the year.
Rooney would be a close second.
Yeah. Okay, first centre back.
Conor Golson. For me, the big change in Conor Golson is, I think he's become a better defender. I think last year there was questions asked, but this year, defending wise, brilliant. Lead, no the captain, but you could see how vocal he was on the park, and sometimes he was a great. Like, he set up a lot of Rangers attacks with this big long raking diag. Switch of play for me, just all round, been consistent all year, and I think when you're trying to win a league and stuff, you have to have that level of consistency. And when you're the main centre half for Rangers, and you've got that level, then it kind of reaps through the team. And for me, he's definitely. There's some of the St Johnson boys that I would like to mention, like
Fraser
Kerr and
Gordon.
Gordon. Thing with Gordon, like 2 cup finals. It's hard to no mention them, but no, for me, Conor Golson.
I sound like a fucking parrot, but Conor Golson as well.
God,
simplified his game. See, last year I always thought he would try a Cruyff he would take that wee risk, but this year I think he's just, like Kev says, he hits that diag, and I think it helps when he's got Davis in there. A fit Davis, he just pops into Davis and he does the rest, but Golson hardly made a mistake this year.
No. I don't think this should factor into why somebody should get picked in a team of the year, but playing over 5,000 minutes, I think, in one season.
Every minute.
Wow.
No missing a game.
I remember him, I played against him when he was at Shrewsbury. He was at Shrewsbury, wasn't he?
Shrewsbury.
When he got his heart thing, he went to Brighton and got his heart thing, didn't he?
Aye.
But I always thought he was very good at Shrewsbury as well.
But it's big, strong, good in the air, good in the ball, athletic, just got all the attributes. And he's actually scored quite a few goals this year as well. I might be wrong, but I'm sure it's 9 in all competitions.
He scored a few important goals.
Big goals.
So Conor.
Shane Duffy. No, Conor Golson. For all the above.
For all the above, okay. So you're going second centre half. Paul, we'll go you. You can start this one.
So, second centre half, I am going to go with St Johnstone captain Gordon.
He's not the captain.
Jason Kerr's the captain.
Jason Kerr.
Kerr's the captain.
I'm going to go with Jason Kerr.
Right.
What's
For-
Gordon's first name, Sue?
Let me cut that back.
Can my question to you be why Kerr over McCart?
Simon,
You're playing with two right-footed centre backs.
well, as you've seen there, I didn't know what one was which, but one of the three have to go in. And I seen him with the
went to the
captain.
wrong
I
one.
thought he was the captain's arm. Captain, so he's going in my team, certainly.
Yeah, probably one of the harder ones that I had to pick. I would say Jason Kerr's done really well. I think Ryan Porteous has done really well at Hibs. Hibs centre half's been a big reason why they've ended up finishing third. Philip Hollander's no lost a game of football. No lost a league game, since he's played with Rangers, but he's only played 20 games this season, so that sort of went against him. For me, it's McCart, James McCart. I'll hold my hands up and say I've not watched every St Johnstone game this year, so St Johnstone fans out there might tell me Jason Kerr, but the games I've watched, James McCart has stood out for me. I think he's very comfortable in the ball for a defender as well, big, aggressive. Big reason why they've had so much success as well.
I've got two centre backs in the middle, Guthrie for Livingston, and the left.
Wow, Big John.
And the left of it is Jamie McCart as well.
Can I ask you why you with John Guthrie?
I think he's been brought. He was excellent for Livingston. I think up until maybe they went on that wee bad run, I thought he was one of the other than Golson. I thought he was outstanding centre half in the league up to a certain point. And then I think McCart maybe took over him that wee bit, but for the first half of the season with Livingston, Guthrie has been phenomenal. And we went for lunch with Nicky Devlin. He says that Guthrie's
Tell you what, we've got some amount of goals in our defence.
We do, didn't we? Kev, who's your second?
No, I like that comment side with Guthrie because up until the split, all the chat was Livingston, and he was a main part of how good defensively they were, and obviously popped up with a few goals. But for me, I'm going to go with the St Johnstone captain, Kerr, because I think when you're the captain of a club that's won 2 trophies, you've got to lead by example. And I think he's been a stalwart for them all season, and he stayed fit most of it. And I just think lifting 2 cups, you know what I mean? He was the first captains the first St Johnstone captain ever to do that.
So who's playing right side and left side for you two?
Golson will play right.
And so what happens if a team comes to play your team and block off Golson and let the ball go to Jason Kerr on his left foot?
Left back, drop in centre half go left back.
Brilliant. All right, Kev, left back.
Left back, this is quite a hard one because we can praise the young boy Doig at Hibs because I think he's a good breakthrough season. But for me, Barisic has been...
He's my left wing back.
For him, it's the quality he has on the ball and the delivery that he has. It's just a great outball because defensively he's quite a big guy, Andy, is he?
He's ripped. 6'1" maybe.
Aye, so like a 6'1" left back who gets up and down the wing, crosses balls. For me, I think he could go again. I think he's going to do well. Is he in the Euros this year?
Yeah.
Aye, so I think big performances for Barisic in the Euros will only enhance his reputation. But no, he's a standout for me.
Same with you, Andy.
Yep, Barisic as well. Number of assists, number of goals, but similar to what you said about Tavernier, I think he's improved defensively as well. I think a weakness at Rangers last year was probably cross balls, stopping crosses and defending crosses for wider areas. I think both fullbacks at Rangers have both improved that this year, and everybody knows what they bring going forward as an attacking threat. They're arguably the 2 most creative players in the league. Well, certainly up there anyway. And he was an easy one for me at left back.
Paul?
Doig.
Wow.
I'll go with the young man. The season he's has been exceptional. He's gone to bigger and better things, Simon. I just think he's...
What has he done over Barisic to get in?
Don't think he is. I don't think he is. But I think the young man deserves it.
Well, just because he's age maybe and...
Aye, Simon, listen, we all know how hard it is to come through in football, and for the young boy to do what he's done.
To not lose Stevenson at the team as well, who's been a Hibs left back.
Club legend.
Yeah.
Took it on his stride. 3rd place as well, which is... I know the Rangers win the league, but... No, I'll go with Doig.
He's my honourable mention.
Any other honourable mentions left back? I tell you who was good, the boy that was at Livingston, but he was only on loan. Livingston kind of went doing that. I can't remember probably should have looked at his name.
Was it Julian? The boy from Monaco or something like that?
A massive shout to Callum Biff
Adam Browney's name is. Sure it is.
No, it's not.
Is it not?
Callum Biff.
Callum Biff is in well as well, yeah.
Best left back.
I don't know any other left backs.
Right, okay, on to midfield. What yous... So I've got 3 in the middle, yous have got 3 in the middle. 3. Kev, you've got 4. So you want to go with your wide right first?
Aribo.
Aribo wide right, okay.
I thought there was parts of the season there near the end where his level of performance was right up there. Powerful, strong, cutting in, causing problems. And I quite like the idea of, what did you call it, inverted wingers?
Yeah.
Where they come in, so him on the right, coming in on the left, and obviously I would have the other winger, Rangers, coming in with the right foot. I'll not mention would they get that point, but for me, Big Joe Aribo, I think, has found a level of consistency, and I think that's why he's played so many games this season.
Good. So you've got three in the midfield?
Yep.
My sitters, Steve Davis.
Same.
Yep.
Best midfielder of the season.
Love watching him play.
So
any midfield player who wants to be watch Steve Davis.
Yep.
In every department.
Yeah.
He's my
What's he see in training? Is he like the best player of the day, Andy?
I remember when he first came back for the second spell, and he was off it in terms of his fitness, and he played football for a number of weeks, and it's only natural when players hit a certain age that you start to think, is his legs got away from him? Is he getting just a wee bit too old? He's not played a lot of games. Can he get it back? But then just after a number of weeks, every single day, it's just like nothing flashy about him at all. Just does the basics right every single day, and I think that's important.
Yeah.
As a message to younger players as well. You don't need to.
No.
If you're a midfielder, you don't need to be flinging in step overs, diving runs, raking passes all the time. Just do the basics well, and I think that's what Stephen Davis does incredibly well. In tight areas, very rarely gives the ball away. Out of possession, I think his work rate's underrated as well. And in big games, big moments, always performs. So for me, he's been the outstanding midfielder of the league so far. So this season. So he's my middle of the three.
Okay. Your centre midfielder, Kev?
Well, he's in Stephen Davis for that reason, so he would be my one. So you go for your second of your three.
Paul? We'll go for Ali McCann.
Same.
He's been exceptional, Simon, and listen, we've given Callum Davison a hell of a lot of praise, but when they cross that line, it's up to the players to go and stand up and to win 2 cups in a historic season.
21-year-old?
21-year-old.
Is that all he is?
He's frightening, he really, really is.
And by the way, he's the one, St Johnstone rotate that. Davidson comes in, 100%. Craig comes in, Bryson comes in, but McCann never comes at the team.
Just what he's...
Tells you a lot, and again, in good company with the guys, they've had good careers, good players.
Listen, there's been really good standouts this year, but that boy is really, really exceptional, and he will be alongside Davis.
I'm playing my 2 sitters in my 3.
Exact same.
If it was playing my 3, Kamara would have went in ahead of McCann, but because I'm going with 2 sitters, I've went McCann and Davis.
Same.
Great, Glenn Kamara's yours.
Glenn Kamara, the most underappreciated player in the league, hands down, by a country mile. I think it's close. I think it's only really been this year where people actually appreciate how good he is, and he's been unbelievable this year. To be honest, I think there was a period in the season where I'd have said that he was better than Davis. I genuinely would. Like, people look back and say Davis has been unbelievable this year, and he has. And for me, throughout the course of the season, he's been Rangers' best midfielder. But up until maybe February, Glenn Kamara was Rangers' best midfielder. He was, especially in Europe as well. In Europe, his performances were incredible. The reason I say underappreciated, because people don't realise the work he does for the team. And we're talking about distances covered. I can't remember what play you mentioned. Glenn's distances covered every single game. And in possession, man.
It's when he does that, mate. He works his balls off to get it back. See, when he gets it, it's tight, and he's just worked so hard, and he's just so good at keeping it in tight areas.
And we both mentioned the fact that both Rangers fullbacks have defended a lot better this year in 1v1 situations. But see, when you've got Glenn Kamara in the team, they're very, very, very rarely left 1v1 because of the work rate he does off the ball. But then we've not even got to in possession. In possession, it is very, very hard to get the ball off him. He's just so clever, uses his body so well, manipulates the ball in little touches, first touches, always keeping the ball moving, never keeping it still. And he was a no-brainer for me.
Kev, second midfielder?
Second midfielder, in my middle 2
was Davis and who?
Davis and Turnbull.
Right.
Is it sitting, Kevin? Would he be sitting?
No, Davis would be sitting.
You're 2, sorry.
So Davis sitting, Aribo, I need up to my left side yet, but I would have Turnbull. The reason I put him in is because there maybe possibly has been more, like Glenn Kamara is obviously a close runner for that kind of similar situation, but Turnbull for me, I think, because he's young, he's went through that knee injury that he's like a year out of football, persevered, wasn't straight into Celtic's first team to initially to start with, but he's worked hard to get in there, and his level of performance probably that whole Celtic team in a poor season, he stood out. He's kept his levels high. He's been rewarded with a call up to the Euros. And I think you can see that if he's able to get an opportunity with better players, I think he will become a good player for a long time for our country. Celtic's got a right gem in their hands, and for me, he sees things, or he tries things, and he's quite happy to take balls in tight positions. You're talking about Davis taking ball and always keeping it. I think Turnbull likes to take things in certain positions that some players maybe wouldn't want to. So for me, I'm putting Turnbull in there.
Yeah, Turnbull's just ahead of Davis and McCann for me.
That is
I think he's the most natural number 10 Scotland have got, taking the ball in the half turn. He reminds me a lot of Roderick, but I think he works harder than Roderick.
I think he just, when you watch him, you feel like something's going to happen.
Yeah, he's always looking to play forward, isn't he, if he can. Yeah, so David Turnbull. Andy, third midfielder?
Third one was hard. I think honourable mentions, Alan McCann, Lewis Ferguson. I think Alan McCann's sort of came to prominence the last sort of half of the season. Lewis Ferguson deserves a mention for the amount of goals he scored. It was between David Turnbull and Joe Aribo for me, but I went with Joe Aribo. I think Joe Aribo for the first 2 months of the season was Rangers' best player. Sort of tailed off a little bit, but then picked up his form again, his number of goals, number of assists. I think, to be fair, Turnbull, I've waxed lyrical about David Turnbull's performance for Celtic on here. I think he's unlucky to miss out, because I think even when Celtic have been poor and when they've not got results, he stood out. I think even in the last 2 Old Firm games, Celtic got battered. The last one was 4-1, and I still think they played well. The game before, obviously it was a bit closer, but I still thought he played well in the game, so he's playing well in big games. But I just think over the course of the season, I've went for Joe Aribo.
Okay, Paul?
David Turnbull, Simon.
The Bill?
The Bill, he's been absolutely exceptional, especially what we just said, what Andy said about Celtic having an awful season with their standards. He's come into that club and been the best player all season for them. He goes in there, Simon.
Okay.
No questions over.
So we've all got front twos to go. You can tell us your front two.
I've got my other one.
Oh, your left winger, sorry.
I've got my left winger, Ryan Kent, obviously. He started off the season, we couldn't stop talking about him. He had a spell midway through where he wasn't as prominent, but towards the end of the season, standards went right back up there, and potentially probably one of Rangers' best players for the last run in. He's just one of these guys, Simon, that just, I don't know, he seems to, you don't know how he's going, what he's going to do with the ball. He's got tricks, he's got skills, he's direct, he can mix things up, and see, ultimately, like any good footballer, he works really hard for his team, and I think that's, we always say to young players, see if you can get the work rate right. That's the least you can do in football. So for me, Ryan Kent fits in there on the left, coming in the right. But the thing with Ryan Kent is both feet.
Yeah.
So he's got options. So for me, that's my fourth midfielder. So
for that reason, I've put Ryan Kent up top with Kevin Nisbet. I think Kent's better in the middle of the pitch. I don't really, when he's out wide left, he's relying on other people getting the ball. But see, when he comes and drifts into the middle of the pitch,
I think this season,
he affects the game so much more.
I think this season he certainly has been like a number 10.
Yeah.
I know his position's almost for left, but he's everywhere.
He's a good finisher as well, Paul. I don't think he gets enough goals. I think he can get more dirty goals. That's why I'm sticking him up front. I think if he gets in the box a wee bit more when the ball's on the other side of the pitch, he could add more numbers to his game.
Well, my left winger, Simon, Ryan Kent, as you've said.
So what is this? Sorry, this is in your 4-3-3?
This is my front three, so Kent will still be on our left wing. Exceptional. Will he beat Rangers next season? We don't know. I don't know. I've heard big things that he's away.
You've been turning him a bit, haven't you?
I've been trying to get him out. But no, he's some boy. He's some boy, isn't he? What a player.
And what about you? Just give us your front three now.
Do you? On the right, James Forrest, Simon.
No, wait. He's played, how many games has he played?
The way he's come back is fine. The way he started the season, unbelievable.
Is he your captain?
He's a captain. The way he's come in, the way he's come back for that injury is just exceptional. So he has to go in. He has to be in.
And you're one up?
And this is the one I'm going to get attacked for. Odsonne Edouard, Simon, top scorer, 18 goals, nobody anywhere near the goals. And for him, it's been a poor season for his standards, but still to get 18 goals, especially how bad Celtic have been, how he's managed 18 goals, he must lead the line.
What about if you're going to defend for the front in terms of his work rate and getting the ball back?
Simon,
just leave that to the other 10.
Let my free centre mids deal with that.
Right.
And let him stay up.
Okay, mate.
Would you agree? Would you agree with Edward? No.
No, I would.
Does the top scorer know?
Listen, I think Odsonne Edouard's outstanding.
Yeah.
Very good, but team of the year.
Does top scorer would that not count? Would you
Celtic?
Well,
a Celtic team.
We'll get.
But how bad they've been?
They've still created a lot of chances, I think. I think he could have scored a lot more. I don't think he's been as clinical in the box as he has been in past seasons.
18 goals in a season with 38 games. It's not a great return.
He's got a question here.
Saying it's not a great return. Usually the top scorer in the SPL Premier League is 25, 30 plus, I would say. So that shows you that he's not been at the standard. And goals doesn't mean, just because you've maybe not scored as many goals doesn't mean you say you had a good season. For me, he would be the first person to admit he's not had the best of seasons. But still finished top scorer.
See, that my front three gets a bit... I just wanted certain players in, to be honest. I wouldn't really say it's suited to the front three. But left wing, no brainer, Ryan Kent. I just... Listen, I don't think Scottish football as a whole is going to cherish him because there's rivalry involved in Scotland, but Rangers fans especially need to cherish how good he is because natural talent-wise, I don't think Rangers have had a player like him for years. I think he's that good. But I'm with you, I still think he can be better. Yeah. I really do. I challenge him this year to score more goals and get more assists. He's done that. Next year, I'm looking at Ryan Kent's ability and saying, I want 15 goals.
I
want 15 goals.
I think, though, Andy, that comes with age as well, though. See, when you see Wing, I see Forrest when he first came through, he didn't have the goals and stuff. I think when you age, when you get older, that's when you start maybe doing as much out the box.
Out the box,
you know
yeah.
I mean? Yep. But I think his goals and that will come, he's assist.
Because at times he gets frustrated, he ends up dropping back into his own half to go and get the ball. And that is a young thing, and if you, like you say, as he gets older, he'll realise.
My front two is Nisbet and Morelos. Alfredo's maybe not scored as many goals this year as he'd probably like to, but I think
Alfredo, is that right?
I think he's brought more. I think you've seen more of the other side of Alfredo. I think he's worked better. I think his disciplinary's been far better than it's ever been, and I think he's been there in the big games. I think when they played against Celtic, he obviously got that hoodoo no scoring against him, got that off his back, and I think he's just one of these strikers that, when he's in the team, I think the rest of the team appreciate the work and what he does off the ball and stuff like that. He is a hard working forward. He is a nuisance. He's a nuisance in the box, and sometimes when he's in the box, like this season, he might not have got as many goals, but it's the positions he takes up and the nuisance he causes that allows others maybe to get the goals. So for me, it's Morelos, and obviously for Nisbet, breakthrough season at Hibs, it's been different class. I think the amount of goals, is it 15 goals or something he scored?
I think it's more.
There's no many players outside the Old Firm get that each season, and for me, Nisbet, I think he could go again.
Yeah.
So that's me 4-4-2.
Nisbet and yours?
Yep.
Yeah. Nisbet's got to be in it. The things he's went through this year as well, collapsed move, his dad obviously passed away. Was out the team for what, 6 or 7 weeks?
Yeah. So, which is why I was saying I feel as if I needed to get Nisbet and Alfredo in, so it's not quite a 4-3-3.
No.
Similar to be fair, similar when Kamar Roof plays with Rangers, I'll have Nisbet close to Alfredo and Tav being the width on the right hand side. But Alfredo, similar reasons to Kev. I think his all round play's been better. I still wouldn't say it's his best season for Rangers. I still think last year he was remarkable. I think even he'll look back at the season and think, I wish I scored more goals, but his all round play's been better. I look at so many games this season. Aberdeen at Pittodrie, Rangers won 2-1, Alfredo scored 2. 1-0 at Livy, Alfredo scored. 1-0 at Easter Road, Alfredo scored the winner. Goals against Celtic, which is no match today. So I think he's came up with bigger goals this year. Maybe not as many as he has over the previous seasons, but I think for his all-round play being better, bigger goals that he scored, I'd put him there. And then for me, Nisbet has to go in. I think he's arguably been the outstanding player of the league outside the Old Firm. 14 goals in a Hibs team that's finished in third, and he's been a massive part of that. Honourable mentions for me is Boyle's probably unlucky to miss it.
He scored 12 goals this season.
Martin Boyle.
Brilliant for your right wing.
Yeah.
He's unlucky to miss it. Another one that was not spoken about, McGrath at St Mirren. I think he's unlucky to miss it.
Very good season.
I think he's had a very good season.
He scored 10 goals as well.
That's what I was going to say. For anyone who scored double digit league goals at a team that's sort of middle of the table or down there throughout the most of the season, it's impressive. Never mind for somebody that's not a striker. So he's unlucky to miss it.
Big mention for me as well, Ryan Hedges, if he never got injured the time he did with Aberdeen. I think he's a right good player.
Hedges and Newell would have been close as well, because the two of them are very similar. They've got that wee bit of guile about them. But no, there's been many good players. I think over the course of season, certain teams become prominent at certain times that we talked about Kent at the beginning, and then we talked about Guthrie and that during the middle of the season, how well Livingston were doing defensively. So it's just, there's been moments where, but over the course and distance of the season, for me, my 11 players have been possibly the most consistent.
That's outstanding. Who's your captain?
I was just about to ask you, because this could cause heated debate. Manager of the year.
Wow.
It's a hard, it's a real hard one, innit? Because in the mammoth season that it was, to go invincible is unbelievable. And obviously Stoke Celtic getting 10 was massive, but Callum Davidson, his first season as a manager, with the budget they've got, winning 2 cups. Who do you think?
So who are you giving us yours, or?
Go with Callum Davidson.
I'm going Davidson as well. 2 trophies in your first year.
Or the budget
St Johnstone, yeah.
I'll be getting accused, no doubt. I haven't.
You're going to say Gerrard.
But I'm saying 51% Gerrard, 49% Callum Davidson. I think it's not just the fact that Rangers have won the league. It's the fact that they've done it in the manner they've done it. Knows in the game.
And in Europe,
Rangers are a 36-point swing for Celtic for the last year. This year, 36 points.
And in this season as well, how big it was.
Aye, and obviously the magnitude of the job that he had at hand. But Callum Davidson, you can't. I don't want to talk up one while putting down the other, because both of the job both of them done has been unbelievable. Callum Davidson, two domestic trophies at St Johnstone. I think it's the first team outside the Old Firm that have done that for over 30 years. I think Aberdeen in the 80s or something was the last time that's happened. So you can't. Listen, if the award was a day and they gave it to Callum Davidson, I wouldn't argue. But I would just pick Gerrard.
I think it's the first season. I think it takes a long time to get. You see with Gerrard when he came in, it takes it. Now he's got the message there. Listen, he's been doing brilliant, but for him to do that in his first season,
I think with St Johnstone, what people forget is that when he came in, they were sitting bottom of the table. And was it?
Did he not come in the summer?
No, sorry. No, there was a stage when he took over, they were bottom of the table, early doors.
That's what I'm trying to get to. So he's managed to keep them into the top 6. It's not just winning 2 cup finals. It's like, if you actually look at the season they've had in the league, where they've came from and where they've got to, that's impressive. But for me, winning a league title under the pressure that was there, trying to stop your greatest rivals from getting 10 in a row, that takes some doing as well. And to do it undefeated, for me, Gerrard.
Going Gerrard.
Aye. It's a hard one to say, because I think they're very, very close, but very similar to what Andy would say. It's like 51% and 49%. The two of them, they could have had a joint manager of the season, probably possibly for the first one. I don't think either's achievements more than the other. They're very, very close.
What also you need to remember with Callum Davidson is he took over a successful team as well, and who had a certain way of playing under a certain manager in Tommy Wright. You know, I think people will take over Steve Clarke at Kilmarnock since how tough a job that is. It's a similar job for Callum Davidson. Do you know what I mean? They players played a certain way for about 5-6 years. So
I think as well, the thing is with Callum Davidson, which is why it's so hard, is there's not much more he can do. No. There's literally not much more he can do. The only way it'd have been remarkable is if they do finish third and they end up winning the two trophies. But in his first season, how realistic is that? It's probably very, very unrealistic. So both managers done an incredible job, but it is a tough one. I can see the arguments for both sides. The good point is Gerrard as well, is how well set up that doesn't just happen. That comes for hours on the training ground. You didn't just turn up one day and you said, "Oh no, what position to be in when other teams got the ball." It comes for hours and hours. And because for me they were terrible, not terrible, but they were bad defensively last year. And he's obviously went away and worked hard, and now they're just so well drilled.
That's the thing. It's like people saying like it's his third attempt at it, so this is his third year. But in football management, sometimes you need time, and some managers don't get that time. And like you're pointing out here with the defensive frailties last year, he's obviously went and spent the hours to make that better, and he's made everything better around. And the fact for me is that when players have come out the Rangers team, to be able to keep the other ones as happy as they are, to come in and do the same job, that speaks volume as a person, because you can't keep everybody happy at a football club when you're not playing. But he's managed to do that. But no, superb.
Podcaster of the year?
Podcaster of the year. Slaney, you've won it again this year, mate. You've won it again.
What is that now? 3 in a row?
6 in a row now. Unbelievable achievement. The next time we're going to see everybody is one of his most special shows, the Euro build-up. That's the next time we're on live, innit?
Should be a good one as well.
Wow.
Give him a wee taste of
what we're going to dress up. We're all going to dress up, aren't we? A Scottish icon. That's what we're going to come as. So, what were you going as again?
Who was I thinking of?
What were you?
For me, I was going as...
What is he say again?
He was going to go...
Montgomery? Montgomery, no. Montgomery. What are you going as, Andy?
I'll keep it as a surprise.
He's going as Gerrard again, isn't he?
If he gets a white tennis outfit, he could be Andy Murray.
Aye, he's not far off Andy Murray.
Aye.
That's not bad shout, Kevin, aye.
Who are you going as, Paul?
He's his mum. What's the mum?
Judy.
Paul, there's rumours you're coming as Ford Kiernan.
Oh, by the way, you better watch. I'm going to tell you now, this is happening behind your back. He's turning up at one of the nights. I'm not telling you what game it is, but he's going to be there.
So you be ready for every night.
You need to be on your A game every night.
He's young.
No. Hey, I'll be ready.
Good
As
man.
I said, I promised the people the last time, after I came back for that absolute horrific ordeal I went through that night, that day, I promised the people the next time we're in the same room, there'll be fireworks.
You've got that experience now, Paul, with what you did to Derek.
Aye, dealt with. Next.
Will you be singing and dancing at this?
It's going to be wild.
Because you've not sang for or dance for a while.
I keep it for the live shows now.
Yeah, okay.
I'm too big now to be just getting that out. Know what I mean?
For free?
Nah, for free. No way. I want to keep going. Who's your celebrity bird of the year?
Laura Anderson, the way she dealt with you.
She dealt with me. Half 40.
Who's yours? Sturgeon.
Sturgeon's up there.
Mine is Kate Beckinsale.
Kate Beckinsale's nice.
Kate Beckinsale.
Kate Beckinsale's nice.
She just gets better with age.
Lads, what a season. What a season you go.